Sharp looking and really well kept Itasca Cambria 23D landing here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. The folks basically had kind of a growing family, and they're swapping it out for a larger bunkhouse travel trailer so that the family has more time to spend together on those rainy days where sometimes you just kind of all have to, you know, huddle up inside the RV. As is pretty much traditionally the case, when the slide out is closed, as we see it currently, you maintain full access to this rig. But what's more, a lot of motorhomes, when you have the slide closed, you might lose some sort of function in the floor plan. And in this case, there's really no loss. You will technically not be able to open that one little cabinet, but short of that, even with the slide out closed, this is a fully functional rig. So if you have to park at, like if you're making an overnight pit stop at a travel stop or a parking lot or something like that, if it's close quarters, no worries, guys. You can still use the whole rig and really not lose anything. And I gotta say, these folks, they knew how to take care of their rig. This is in sharp, well-kept condition. Big cross breeze windows here, always a crowd pleaser. Day-night shades are out. But the high-class touches that go into the Itascas never fail to disappoint. Like the really intelligently placed power outlets. So whether you're gonna, you know, maybe run a little coffee maker right here, just have a phone charger, tablet station, whatever, you know, very, very detail-oriented. As compared to like a more traditional Class C, you do have that overhead storage and entertainment center. And the little ceiling mini vault in here, it does really help this thing look and feel nice. For a tall person like me, it lets me really walk around without my head cracking into any light fixtures, and, you know, feels very comfortable. Obviously, the entertainment center is easy viewing and, you know, really overshadows the front cab area here. The front cab at a glance seems pretty rank and file. Like there doesn't look to be a whole lot up here that you haven't really seen before, but the previous owners put some smart updates in here. That little white box on top of all the original owner's manuals, that's a tire pressure monitoring system that apparently they added to this, so you know when you're zipping down the road you can make sure you're not going to have a blowout. In that cup holder in the middle is a Furion aftermarket backup and in motion, I believe, monitoring camera, so you can see what's going on behind you. And we do have heated power side mirrors over here. So, you know, and a lot of these things that we're looking at that I'm discussing, they're not like shockingly, amazingly new factors in the RV business. You have to look at this one through the lens of time. When this one was built, that wasn't something, those features weren't things that you often found in an RV of this size. Now, naturally, your dinette can fold down into a bonus sleeper, and, you know, you see you've got the easy storage under it. But you know, it's the below the surface things here that make the difference. Like when you feel the grade of the woodwork here, when you see the hardware, all the nice metallic stuff, when you reach back here and you can feel the nicer heavy duty pocket screws. This thing is absolutely rock solid. Dwayne the Rock Johnson solid. Flipping around over the other way, then we'll take a look at the kitchen. They put overhead storage up wherever they could, and again, these big windows. If you want great views of your destination, you got it. And if you fold this sofa down into a sleeper, I mean, you'll have a nice adult-sized guest sleeping area, not just fit for the grandkids. The other thing here is, this is a very large sofa. You could comfortably sit 3 adults at it if you were entertaining friends. Next to the refrigerator, we have one of those slide-open wire mesh pantries, and it occurs to me you're watching a video, so why talk about it when we can just see it in living color? Bam! Just like that. I've always been a sucker for these things. I like storage that opens to me, so I don't have to go armpit deep trying to grab a box of mac and cheese or whatever. That does look like a 6 cubic foot fridge freezer, so just kind of keep in mind your cold storage. Small rig, small kitchen, couples rig, that's probably sufficient for this size. It does have one of the nicer big vent fans here in the kitchen area, but take a look at something here. This RV's been used. It's been used a lot. It's been amazingly well kept. Even that fan, even the blades are clean. That means somebody went through, unscrewed every one of these, cleaned it, and put it back up. And they must have done it with regularity, because the screen is clean. The fan is clean. It is shockingly clean. You can also see where this does have a soft touch ceiling liner. So, I mean, you know, it really drowns out a lot of noise in here. And something occurs to me. My manager told me there was a little spot up in a front corner that had a tiny historic leak. But that being said, I'm sure not locating it. So maybe we need to verify that information. If this is a rig, I can't find anything wrong in here. And it is possible that the previous owners were obviously very active with their care and upkeep. So it is very possible that they may have said, oh, I had a leak and it was actually something not major. That wouldn't surprise me with the care that I see having gone into this. I'm going to slide this out of the way. Right next to the entry door, you could call it yet another pantry in a way, linen cabinet, whatever, or bonus closet. But you've just got a huge bank of storage capacity right here by the door. And it's kind of funny because when I first walked in here, there's a lot of lights in here, but I was like, there's no light fixture right there, which would be nice. And then I opened the door and I went, oh, that works. There's just enough lighting in here. You know, just really smart, intelligent design. Flipping around here to our kitchenette. We do have a convection microwave oven, so you know you can cook faster with less heat introduced into the RV. More of that beautiful looking well-kept cabinetry, and notice that there's no, you know, kitchen cabinets are very high frequency use items, guys, and there's no like scuffs and scars where this got flung open and banged into something. This is, I mean, this looks amazingly well kept. This is absolutely in pristine condition. Down below, nice place for a little wastebasket, and that is a stone cast sink, my eyes just noticed, meaning it's rated for up to 500 degrees before you might notice anything wacky happening with it, which 500 degrees, guys, water would have boiled off and evaporated by then. And 1, 2, 3, count them up, drawers to the floors here below the kitchen area. Give me just a second, let me close everything up, and we'll take a peek at the bathroom. Now, obviously, as we saw earlier, you know, travel accessible, which is a normal thing in motorhomes. But this is also very campsite friendly because if you notice, it is a completely carpetless, ventless kitchen and entryway. So very easy to keep clean. So if you're jumping in and out of this door over here, and maybe where you're at it's kind of sandy or dirty or wet or muddy or something, well, you're not tracking dirt and grime through the whole rig. It's very, very easy to keep her clean in here. Nice leg room and hip and shoulder room around the toilet, which is something a bigger person like me appreciates. And that's a pretty modest, you could maybe call that technically a tub, but I think it's a little closer to a shower pan than an actual traditional tub. Privacy shade, obviously, for that big rear viewing window there. And a very beautiful, like, floating mirror style vanity on that bathroom vanity right there. Your medicine cabinet, as it were, to keep, you know, all your little, maybe you got some, you know, personal medication or, you know, shavers, blow dryers, etc. You got nice places for things like that. And very easy to reach power outlets, sometimes hiding just below the counter line, which is something that, you know, when I stand up here as a tall person, you might often miss, but you just got a nice little peek at one. And I tell you, this is a good riding little sucker. I think partially because it is just a little bit shorter. It doesn't tend to get that really hard bucking and chucking like some of the bigger rigs do, you know. This is a very comfortable drive. And it has what I like to call the Jurassic Park package on the front end with the cattle brush guard and those extra lights on the front there. But hey, whatever the need be, it obviously did its job. That would be some kind of aftermarket part add-on there. Now you can obviously see there's a big white dome on the top. This RV just landed at the lot. I haven't yet had an opportunity to speak to the folks that owned it, so I haven't yet had an opportunity to discover exactly what's below that. And I don't want to just guess. I don't want to lead you astray. I'll tell you what I know, not what I think. Slide awning at the very, very base of it. Let me get up here a little bit and let me zoom in. If I'm being ultra picky, I can start to see where the base of that has weathered. But, I mean, that's kind of to be expected on something of this age that has been used. The fact is, overall, it's been kept pretty clean, pretty nice. Generator runs like a champ. That generator fired right up. But there, I tell you, there was like 700 plus hours on that generator. They used that thing. This thing was mostly used for off-grid camping. And obviously, they, you know, one of the benefits of something being used heavily like that, like on a generator, is that the carburetor never got gummed up. You never got old fuel stuck in it or anything like that. These tires are not very old at all, and it's all 6 of them. It's the 2 front steering and all 4 rear drive tires. They are all in excellent shape. Tons of rubber left on these things. So you are not going to be replacing tires on this, you know, anytime shortly after purchase, obviously barring something very unexpected like a bad flat tire. I do not know offhand what the tow capacity is on this thing right here. I'm going to guess somewhere between 4,000 to 5,000 pounds, just based on experience, but I haven't actually run the numbers on her quite yet. So if that's something that you're really curious about, before you go, you know, making something official, just give our guys a call and we can do a double check on that. The power entry step is like, it's ready for action, brother. You push the button and it's like, all right, I'm open, let's go. And a quick note, this is a manual awning. Once again, it's been kept well enough that you don't really realize the age of the coach. That you're thinking, oh, you know, something like this, it's got a power awning. Yeah, when this was built, everything was still pretty much manual. But God bless America, has she been well kept. And no surprise, the roof looks pretty darn good. Now, something that we will do on a rig like this when it comes in on trade, we have a Seal Tech machine, which is the exact same thing that the manufacturers use to test for seal voids, which is a fancy pants way of saying leaks. Anytime we get a rig like this in, we'll go ahead and hook it up to the Seal Tech machine to make sure that everything is watertight. And if need be, we'll go through, do a couple touch-ups. So that's nothing that you're going to have to worry about. You got the Max Air covers. You know, the roof is just spick and span. This is clean. This is really sharp, really clean. It's been used a lot, but the definition of used, not abused. You know, they really took care of this. And, you know, whether it's this little guy or any of the other 500 plus things that we have here across our 15-acre superstore, you know, we got something for you. A little bit of anything, a little bit of everything, a little bit of anything for any budget, too. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. See you soon.